Hello. Welcome to Matters of DeCorum. I'm Scott Corum. This is what matters to me. More of a personal episode this time. I've been recording about every 2 weeks, missing occasionally. It's the winter. I'm depressed. It has been a rough season in a rough year. But as I've been doing it about every other week, it's about time for a retrospective. It's Christmas week, and this might be my last video of the year 2020, which calls for a little introspection. "2020 has not been a particularly great year for me. It hasn't been a particularly great year for anyone for a number of reasons. Fortunately, I can mention most of the reasons because I don't care if this video is monetized or not, because my videos aren't monetized. Certain amount of freedom there. Everything was more or less fine through March. And then, well, we all know what happened in March. And I have been in this office, essentially, for the past 9 months. I am at a number of risks. Should I contract COVID, I'm in some of the higher risk categories, in fact. It is unlikely that I would deal well with contracting COVID. So I am self-isolating. I have been from the beginning. When I do interface with the public, like I don't interface with the public. I don't interface with the public most times. When I interface with those few individuals I come in contact to outside of my own household, my assistant Devin being one of them, I am masked with a N95 with a filter. I am careful to maintain my social distance. I disinfect. I keep fastidious hand washing practices, and then keep an eye on my health in the time afterwards. I'm as safe as I can make myself, physically, as far as the pandemic is concerned. That raises some other risks. While I had determined that I was going to have a certain amount of physical activity in the house while I was here, they shut down the hot tub in the building, which I understand, pools and stuff have been shut down, but that was one of my few physical therapies that I could readily access. And then I had a bit of a spill. A month or so into self-isolation, I was having a conversation with my wife. My walker failed to properly deploy under me and improperly deployed under me. Dumped me over on my back and cracked my tailbone. It is not my first broken bone. It is probably the one that is going to end up having cost me the most. That was months ago. It has recovered. I can sit just fine. But the broken tailbone made it nigh impossible for me to engage in a proper amount of physical activity for a length of time. I'm in terrible shape. Not that there weren't other things that were contributing to that going in. So I've got some physical conditioning to get myself back into. You may have noticed in most of my videos I've been wearing the padded collar. I give myself some time without it every day, but the muscles that it takes the place of in my neck, the ones that support the weight of my head around my spine, I don't have those muscles anymore. It was those or a tumor, and I figured the muscles were probably the better thing to, yeah, I couldn't keep the muscles and not get rid of the tumor. I'm not sure if my grammar is catching along. The caffeine hasn't all caught up with me yet. I am monstrously addicted to caffeine at this point in time, even if I wasn't before. The energy that I've got, what thought processes I can produce in a reasonable and rational manner are mostly the result of this chemical rushing through my brain and bridging gaps. Um, I have managed to maintain social contacts online, and those have saved my life. I want to shout out two groups that have basically been my lifeline, my support, and my pretend normalcy for the past 9 months. That is the Warriors of Wednesday, which is my Wednesday gaming group. I've been in this group in one way or another for damn near 2 decades, and it has waxed and waned. We have met in various different places. The membership has rotated in and out, some of whom no longer with us. But we have been gaming online, kind of bouncing between different games, mostly Ark Survival Evolved and a little Minecraft, some 7 Days to Die. This computer is one of my older computers, which my son has transformed into our private server. So that's what we game on. And that's just been, we chat in Discord, and while we are running around shooting pretend dinosaurs and complaining when we die a lot, which has been an interesting experience. And it's a good group of folks to hang out with. We've gone from gaming on Wednesday to gaming like 4 or 5 nights a week because we can. What else are we going to do? My other nights of the week, I have mentioned before that I am part of a group called the Lair Action, which is doing D&D games online. We have a podcast at the moment that features our campaign Days of Our Monks, which we actually recorded last year. It is still ongoing. We have just done episode 11 or 12 comes out tomorrow, and out of about 22 episodes that it's going to end up being overall, those come out every other week. We have done a bucket of games in the meantime, most of them online, where we've actually been recording videos. So those might actually turn into a YouTube channel of its own in time when we get around to producing them. I've got all the episodes archived right here, and it's that has been just wonderful. It's a different group of people. I'm gaming with a group that is all half my age, and it has been exhilarating and frustrating and amazing all at the same time. And it's of all the times I've said, I really wish I could record this game that I'm playing so that I could share what this is like with other people. Now I have been doing that, and I can do that, and looking forward to sharing all of those adventures with all of you. And that has been my gaming life. My project life, what I've been doing working day to day, has changed drastically. I was trying to write gaming supplements the whole time through, and sometimes a line of inspiration or something will just, something I can do drops off in my head. It's the ADHD and how my particular convoluted, confused brain works. The last gaming product I put out earlier this year was an attempt at doing another series called the Victory Shopping Network, and I liked how that was going, and I liked the backstory of that, and I do intend to get back to doing those. It's just I don't have it in my head to do those. I've been trying to learn different skills. I've been working with the Unreal Engine, um, trying to actually develop some computer game skills, and trying to shore up some of my other art talents. Constantly finding out that software does not quite work the way my brain needs it to, and vice versa. So it's an uphill battle, but having those kinds of problems to solve keeps my brain active. I need to keep my brain active. It's not that I'm afraid if I don't keep my brain active, it's going to stop working. That's the opposite of my problem. If I do not give my brain things to do, it's going to do things anyway. And I really need my brain to run in harness, because if I let it out and let it run around wild, it takes me places I do not want it to go. We are in the winter. My seasonal affective disorder has absolutely kicked in. So there are depression issues on the horizon. And the moment I give my brain a little free time to run around on its own, it is going to sink me. So I'm keeping mentally busy. Doing some writing. I've got some commission writing that I'm doing, and a little personal stuff that hopefully will turn into things I can share, put out there for people to see. I've been gracing my patrons with a certain amount of extra artwork as I've been practicing some of my art. Not all of which is safe for work, but that is that is what has come across my brain to be produced. So there we are. All in all, however, when I look at physical difficulties and mental difficulties and how I have to keep things going, and the four walls that I have around me that are slowly closing in as the detritus of my life collects, I have to consider that I'm okay. All things considered, I'm okay. My wonderful wife, Annalisa, she is essential at her job at the company that owns this building and several others, and she's basically our contact with the world. She goes out, she does the shopping, she also maintains every safety level that she possibly can. But we have all the supplies that we need. We have all the food and comforts that we could possibly need in order to survive through this time. And I got a special shout out. I'd be sunk if my son Andrew didn't live across the hall. That is who brings me this each and every morning, along with my teeth to be put in and a bowl of cereal or something else to put calories in my body. Coffee, cereal, teeth, or the Trinity, as we call it. And that is something he can do because I can't physically stand up and move around that much right now. It's between the inactivity I've been in and the problem I have with my blood pressure ever since the chemotherapy. I can't. My blood pressure does not re-regulate when I stand up. It all just kind of rushes down away from my brain, and I have taken pains to not be in situations where I'm likely to pass out and fall, because nobody wants to deal with that. Absolutely nobody. Andrew also helps as a mental foil for me during the day when I cannot keep my brain in line. He is there for me to bounce ideas off of and share things with. Um, and well, it helps that my son's one of my best friends in the world. Thank you, Andrew. So while things aren't ideal for anyone right now. And I may be following world events more than I probably should. That leads to a certain amount of anxiety, but at the same time, I'm fine. Because I can let that go. I can walk away from it for a while. It's one of the benefits of having a brain that lets me run places when I'm not running places. Every so often, we had to give the apartment treatments so that we can continue to live in it. So we have to be gone from it for 8 hours at a time, and so we take drives. We pack up in the car with some snacks and some drinks, and we will drive for a distance to a random location. Fortunately, we live here in Torrance, California, so we have a lot of very nice random locations. Even considering that nothing is really open, we find a restaurant someplace that will do a nice takeout. We will drive 4 hours, stop at a restaurant. Last time it was McDonald's. The McRib is out. We did drive through, got some stuff. I got a Starbucks. That was much, much too strong for me because home coffee is great, and I've had some very good home coffee. We got a fresh cold brew machine, which is making my life a lot easier, but this is not as strong as what I normally order at Starbucks. And when I go to a Starbucks and I order what is normally as strong as I would drink, which I haven't had for a while, well, I lose a couple of days of sleep because my body doesn't know what to do with a Trenta Irish cream with 4 ad shots in it anymore. And that's a light order for me. If I went and ordered one of my regular drinks, one of the kinds of things that made the barista's eyes widen up and ask me if I was sure I wanted to do that, uh, I don't know how I'd handle that or if I'd ever actually sleep again, or maybe just one more time. You never know. So we get out. In the past 9 months, I have been out of this apartment maybe 5 times. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I can I endured a tremendous amount of time here in my apartment when I was recovering from the cancer treatments. This is not new for me. And I've got YouTube, and I might thank some of the YouTubers that have seen me through this particular period of time because thank you, folks, for producing content I can just keep watching and rely on. Um, and I've got uh, my friends online, friends and colleagues, most who are both, and wonderful people keeping an eye on me and trying to help. And a lot of coping skills I have developed over time. This imagination of mine grew out of having unpleasant experiences I was unable to escape from and putting myself someplace else for a while so I didn't have to deal with them. It's amazing how well that has served me in these difficult times. So, 2020 has been rough. I've had rougher. I have officially, technically, had rougher than this. And life proceeds along. We are in a terrible situation. We are looking at hundreds of thousands of people who are not going to make it through this situation. I count myself lucky. Lucky and blessed because I have the people around me and I have you folks who genuinely care. If you're watching this video, it is likely because to some degree you genuinely care. And I really appreciate that. So as this might be my last words to you during this trying year in this festive season that just doesn't seem so festive right now, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing okay and that what you have had to do to cope with this time and the situation and all the other situations around it, I hope you're doing okay. And if you're not, I hope you can reach out and find help because there are people out there who are good to talk to, who will listen, and who might have some ideas for what can help you end this time. I hope you have as wonderful a holiday season as you can, regardless of what holiday you observe. Even if you don't observe any at all, it's a nice season. There are pretty lights out often, and I hope you can enjoy it. That being said, thank you for following along on this kind of personal message. I will try to be a little bit more regular in the new year. It's a resolution. And I have some things to talk about. I need to talk about Cyberpunk, not just the computer game, although I've got some words about that. I'm enjoying it. But the genre as a whole, why it is so important and why its resurgence is a good thing in my eyes, and other things about tabletop games to computer games and more stuff about tabletop games because I'm living those every day and every week. And it's nice to be able to share some of those stories and some of the things I learn about that. Yeah, stuff will be coming up, and I hope you'll be there to help me share that. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Feedback is feedback. If there's anything you'd like to hear me talk about or other subjects you'd like to hear me cover, if you just want to say hi, leave me a comment below. I will love getting your comment. You'll love leaving me one. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, why not? My channel is awesome. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you do, hit the little subscribe bell next to it so you're alerted when my videos become available. If you'd like to help me out a little bit more, contribute to the channel in a more substantial manner, I invite you to hit me on my Patreon page, www.patreon.com/ScottQuorum. I maintain a Discord for my patrons where I have more or less constant contact with them. And we have these chats, and I often ask them what kind of stuff they'd like to see me do in this particular place. So yeah, if you'd like to be interested in that, anything helps. Allows me to make better videos more often, helps me keep in touch. Thank you for watching. Be careful out there. Be healthy. I'm Scott Quorum. This is what has mattered to me, and I'll see you next time on the next Matters of DeCorum.